Hello, my name is Mark Tomlinson. I'm a student at Chippewa Valley Technical College, focusing at the moment on intercultural dynamics. This presentation is titled An Outsider's Perspective on the Inside of a Small Church. Peace Lutheran Church is in Baldwin, a rural community in western Wisconsin. The original church was founded around 1895, though the current building dates to the 1960s. I attended a Sunday worship the week after Easter, curious about the workings of a small church in a small town. We can characterize this as a or subculture within a larger, but obviously not huge, culture that is Baldwin. This is what I saw. There were about 40 families there that morning, all in casual dress. The Reverend John Hanson was in suit and tie. As people arrived, they were greeted in the lobby with handshakes by Hanson and several volunteers who also handed out the day's program, 2 little boys and their mother. The nave is large, holding about 200 people. With much less than that attending, the families were spread out. A large screen hangs from the ceiling where slides of the sermon were projected. Hanson read his sermon and clicked through the slides while watching a monitor on the floor. On each slide, in bold type, were the words the congregants were expected to say in response to his calls. A piano accompanied several hymns during the sermon. Each began with a prelude. Then, Hanson, in a strong singing voice, would lead the congregation in song. On the slides, their lyrics were also in bold type. Halfway through the hour-long service, a small group of children assembled at the front of the room. They were the confirmation class of this year. Hanson led them in a brief, youngster-oriented song. Then there was a break, where we were encouraged to greet our neighbors with a handshake and to wish one another peace. Once we returned to our seats, 2 speakers went up to the podium. One read of community events, the other an update on the church's finances. Finally, Hanson spoke the Lord's Prayer, with the congregation reciting in unison and without an accompanying slide. They then approached the front in an orderly fashion to receive communion. Some left the church after that, but many families remained to chat either amongst themselves or with other families. Here is a copy of the program. Please have a look and then pass it along. Now, I found a number of things interesting about the experience. First was just how passive the occasion was. We were led through the hour to do what one person told us to do, in bold-faced type. Even in a college lecture hall, where the instructor follows a lesson plan, there is interaction. Questions are asked, and questions are answered. Disagreements are considered and discussed. None of that happened here. Second was the flatness of the communication that took place, the responses to the Reverend's calls. To each of them, people spoke the reply in rote monotone. When we were asked to shake hands and greet our neighbors, it was a perfunctory exercise. Genuine, perhaps, but with little enthusiasm. Third was how isolated people were. In a large room and in a communal setting, families still remained in their own space. Collective individualism, I guess. Perhaps if the room were smaller, or there were more people, the proximity would have brought us together. Finally, for this exercise, I was asked to leave my comfort zone, and I surely did. More on that in a moment. Being in a foreign culture, observing and taking notes on it first before engaging with it, will make me better informed and better able to communicate within it. On reflection, separate from faith, church attendance sure seems like a hollow experience. These people were like zombies. They recited what they were told to say without thought and without feeling. There was no discussion of what God means to them or how he fits into their life. There wasn't even any discussion about what it means to be alive. Just shut up and listen, folks. And the lack of feeling or emotion was striking. Even when we shook our neighbors' hands and wished them peace, it was just a word we were told to say. As an atheist, I have no comparable spiritual culture. To me, we're just people. And when we get together, it should mean something. And in the end, I guess, I just don't like being told what to do. Thank you.